I'd like to introduce our first reader, who is a cherished member of the Toronto Street Writers. So Tendisai Cromwell is a journalist and creative writer. She has contributed to Sway magazine, worked as a reporter in Palestine, and interned at CBC Radio. Most recently, Tendisai contributed a short story to Basodi, a Canadian Black History Month anthology, which she'll share tonight. Born in Zimbabwe to a Trinidadian father and Zimbabwean mother, I hope I said those both correctly, she is greatly interested in the African diaspora, transnational identities, faith, and really, really likes ginger and mint tea and nature walks. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in journalism and intends to travel to West Africa to conduct research for a multimedia project on diaspora youth returning to the continent. She occasionally performs her poetry and narrative pieces. So everyone, please put your hands together and welcome Tendisai Cromwell.
Everybody, thank you for coming today. So my first piece is very personal. It's probably one of the most honest pieces of writing I've ever written in my entire life. It's about my father. It's called My Father. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today to hear this, but I did share this with him, and he didn't have any words, just sat. So, okay. The relationship you will have with your father, one half of yourself, will be among the most significant in shaping who you will become. For some, it is an absentee relationship. Knowing that she is partly made of him, she can never fully deny her father, he who left her. For others, the father is a man of sagely wisdom, imparting gently and when necessary, lessons life would only ever teach her harshly. A father to most is an ordinary hero, a man who is magnificent in his commitment to providing and guiding. He, the common father, embodies weakness and resilience, softness and harshness, knowledge and ignorance. Such contradictions an unforgiving child may rarely understand, yet with age she comes to appreciate his humanity. My own father emigrated from Trinidad when he was young. He had little education, and as a fresh Caribbean immigrant endured many struggles at a time in Canada when multiculturalism was not yet in fashion. My father managed to fit the lives of two into one. He established a family of 6 in the Canadian West, himself, 3 daughters, 1 son and a wife. He and his young family traversed the Atlantic Ocean to find themselves in Zimbabwe. Then in an acrimonious divorce, he embarks upon a solitary journey where he meets my mother, where I am conceived, and then my sister. And then there were 4 more. My mother, my sister, my half-brother from my mother's side, and me. As a family, we depart Zimbabwe and root ourselves in the suburbs of Toronto. At 67, I'm not sure if my father has become embittered by life, the way that elders tend to, becoming hardened by years of unfulfilled dream, worn down by the unrelenting harshness of life. He still smiles and makes encouraging remarks about mine and my sister's future. He still works thanklessly beyond retirement age and secretly writes revolutionary poetry, which I discovered in his glove compartment. But something in my father's eyes betrays resignation. Yes, there certainly is a palpable sense of resignation. It's difficult to imagine now my father having the adventurous spirit to travel from Canada from his island life, then go on to make a home in Zimbabwe. It takes a certain type of person to do this. A fearless, spirited person I only see fragments of through his poetry, which he keeps hidden away in his gray used van. My father is a reflective man, but you couldn't immediately tell. He appears blue-collar in his worn-out gray track pants and overused stained white tee. He almost never expresses his true opinions. He becomes restrained in the company of others or simply makes light conversation. He's lively in himself with a select few, yet it's sometimes painful to witness him interact. He can become tremendously shy and socially awkward, especially evident in the overly polite way he treats guests or the continuous smile he wears for no particular reason at all. In witnessing him, I often wonder how much of me has become him. But every so often he speaks, and though not of the deep wisdom of a sage, I find myself in awe of my father's ordinary opinions, his modest upbringing, his pragmatism, his clarity of vision. I try to piece together his fragments. By and large, I've been an ungrateful and dismissive daughter, eager to run away from advice, argumentative when silence would have sufficed. But as I aged, faced with the mortality of my parents, I reflect. My dad once youthful and handsome, has become unbeautified by age, by the merciless way life experience weighs down physical being. Yet I find my father to be the most beautiful man that exists in my life, because he exists in my life unconditionally. Now, in the final chapter of his life's journey, I wish to fulfill a verse of a chapter of the Quran aptly titled The Night Journey. And your Lord has decreed that you worship none but him, and that you be dutiful to your parents. And if one of them or both of them attain old age in your life, say not a word of disrespect, nor shout at them, but address them in terms of honor.